Can I jog your memory for a second?
Sure.
All right. Once upon a time, one of my first NFTs I ever bought with Ethereum was the Bubblegum Kids collection. Now I've mentioned them on this show in the past because they released a gum. They released an actual physical gum,
Hmm.
and they made a comic book, and they're just still around. They're still doing stuff. So I think that's kind of cool. But I wanted to share with you this interesting transition because they are basically out of the NFT game. They're
What do
really
you
just
mean?
a gum company now, and
Wait, what?
they've partnered with IP rights from other big cartoons like Archie and Popeyes. Not Popeyes, the food restaurant. Popeye, the sailor man. So
Hmm.
they have these interesting collaborations with the IP that they're then going to put into the gum itself and into these stories with the comic book. So they still do these Twitter town halls, and they still reach out to the NFT holders to to see who wants to get their NFT into one of the stories. But I want to show you the website because it's still bubblegumkids.com. But when you look at this website, it's a gum company, a sugar-free gum that doesn't taste sugar-free. I'll tell you, it's good gum. I would recommend anyone go get this gum. They've been going to candy shows and like trade shows to promote. But
Hmm.
as you go through this website, there is not one mention of NFTs.
Wow.
This organization now has nothing to do with NFTs on this website, which is really an interesting pivot. Obviously we talk about Pudgy's transitioning from Web 3 and like going into Web 2, but this is just like a Web 2 company now.
Yeah,
And
I wonder. So what happened?
I think they found success with the gum. And look, you can see here, sharing my screen for those of you listening. There's a section here: upcoming collabs: Archie Comics, Popeye, Care Bears, Slushy Puppy, Icy, Berenstein Bears. So they're just moving on as a gum company, and it's great. I wish they were doing a more aggressive job of promoting the value of holding the NFT. Sort of
Hmm.
like the way Pudgy's is saying, like, hey, if you own this, there's some benefit to it.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting that they're still kicking, and I like that. What is not as good was they introduced a staking system um, over a year ago, well over a year ago. And they had a website called bgkstaking.com. And you can
Hmm.
send your bubblegum kid to camp. And then there was another collection called the puppies, bubblegum puppies, which I have. And you can send them to camp. And then they had this marketplace to redeem the gum, $ gum. So for every day that you had a puppy or a kid staked, you got one gum. So if you have one of each of those, each day you'd get two gum. And they were doing shirts and skateboards, sweatshirts, hats, all this stuff. Now all of that is gone. And from this website, the BGK staking, I can still see my things staked here, but I can go to like about, and it goes to a page that doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
So they've really just kicked the staking to the side. So there's no value really in staking anymore. But again, they've just transitioned completely out of being an NFT, even though they still engage with their community, like outside of this website, outside of this business. But you'd really not know that this Bubblegum Kids has anything to do with NFTs. So, for better or worse, I don't think it's a bad thing. But as a holder, it'd be like, all right, I wish I could still do something with my things. But
So the value for Bubblegum Kids just dropped. I'm assuming so.
I think it's probably nothing. Let me go check on that. Hold on, we got some unvoiced there. OpenSea Bubble Gum Kids. I assume it's nothing. Floor price is 0.007. So yeah, basically nothing. What is ETH at? 2,500. Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
$17. This is just about a little bit more than ours. But their art is still cool. I still like the art. I still like the stories that they've been putting out. Again, the comic books are high quality. The gum is high quality. So like it's still legit. It's just really separated from where they were. And maybe that's a business decision, right? They raised probably a decent amount of money and they said, what can we do with this money? What's a responsible way to spend this money? Look, they raised 2,300 ETH over the years. Look, they came out in 2021. That's when I first bought one of these. So still interesting. I would still recommend, people checking out the art, and if you like it, ape in. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting because I'm getting emails from them about these new flavors coming out. I'm like, man, they're They're just kind of pushing the NFTs to the side and focusing on this, which again, maybe that's a good thing for them. That's the business. That's how they make the money. So I can't complain about it.
Well, I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think anybody's gonna buy the NFTs if they're not even talking about it
Right.
anymore.
That's where I wish there was a way to connect it. And I don't know what the right answer is, but I just wish there was still a way to keep that idea alive and then maybe give value to the idea of having an NFT.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really been very vocal about it, have they?
No,
The whole switch.
no, no. I mean, again, they do these, maybe it's quarterly, they do these town halls. So I try to listen when I can just to see what they're up to. And again, they're still committed to the business side of it, but really from an NFT side, it seems to be not much of a thing.
So who runs Bubblegum Kids?
There is this council. They have a thing called the Bubblegum Kids Council. I'm in the Discord. I follow along every now and then, but it's like this community elected group of people, and they vote on things. You've seen me tweet at them a number of times trying to get their attention to interview them because I'm just interested in this process, right? How did they know gum was the way to go to be successful? Are they actually successful? You know, is this really turning into a profitable business? What has this transition been like? And you know, I'd rather an NFT that I own turn into a gum company than turn into a rug, right? So again, not complaining about that, but I just think it's an interesting transition to watch, especially when you think of how many NFT projects from 2021 are literally non-existent now.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they're still around. At least they swap into a different kind of company. But it would be cool to have them
Yeah,
explain what happened, like because
yeah,
I'm sure they have a lot of holders, like or they had a lot of holders. I'm not sure
they
at this
probably
point.
had a lot of holders. Does it say now how many holders up here, right? Owners, 3,000 owners. So that's not bad, really. I think these are
Yeah.
just dormant, you know, they're probably all dormant. But look, even here, stake your BGK, it's like that's probably not a good idea.
So
Um,
they haven't even updated that then, I guess.
no, like merch drops, like there are no
Yeah.
more merch drops. So anyway, just
Well,
an
the
interesting
artwork
thing
was
to
pretty
follow along.
cool.
Yeah, and this is their comic book. This is what their comics look like.
Mm.
And again, they're high quality comics. They're interesting when they release them and they send them out to the holders. They're sending out a couple of rare ones too, like a foily sort of thing. So again, not complaining, but it would just be cool if they were able to tie in the NFT side of it to the business side of it.
So you are complaining.
I wish they would get their shit together. I'm really disappointed in what they've done with my probably $300 to $500 that I spent at that time.
You were all about this bubblegum kid.
I remember texting you from work, like, oh, look at this one I got.
Yeah, and you kept trying to make me buy some, and I
I
didn't.
think I did ask you to get one.
Glad I didn't.
I would not want to know how much I paid for that bubblegum kid back then.
You know what? Going forward, I don't want to buy nothing that you buy as far as NFTs.